And we are trying to complement the Gambia government efforts to, encourage and promote regional integration. And regional integration cannot happen in Africa without first starting with the Senegal and the Gambia, because these are the most neighbors that speaks more or less the same language. So our role here is to promote this fraternity and regional integration through sports and through workers' sports, because workers are there in Senegal. They have organized themselves, and NISA also organizes ourselves here. So we think by joining our heads together, this has been happening since 2011. So we want to make sure that this event, all the events are organized in the most successful manner, Mr. Jallo.
Mr. Cham, this is a very big sub-regional sporting event.
Yeah, indeed. Like it has been outlined by Mr. Bitte and before him, Mr. Jaju, the National Interdepartment Sports Association, NISA, as you know, they are the responsible body in this country to organize sporting activities between workers in various departments. They have a counterpart in Senegal, that is the Fédération Sportive Sénégalaise de Travail, which means Senegalese Workers Sports Federation. And in Senegal, it is organized in such a way that it is the workers who are in their regions that compete among themselves. So there are 14 regions there, so they compete among themselves. And now, NISA have participated in this championship in Senegal a number of times. And on 2 occasions, they won the football trophies there. So you see. Now this time they agreed that these events will take place in the Gambia now. So it's a test case for NISA and for the Gambia for that matter. Because now it means that the Gambia has been given a challenge to organize this championship very well. Obviously they were impressed with the Gambian teams who took part in this championship and won the trophy that is normally won by Senegalese teams themselves. They see Gambia excel and won them. So then that has made a very big impact in the minds of the Senegalese. They believed naturally, unanimously that, well, if the Gambia stages this championship, it's going to be nice. And that's what we have come to now. NISA have accepted to stage it, and the timing is July 22nd, because obviously that will be a time when, you know, there will be celebrations and there will be a lot of attention. And this is a contribution from NISA to the various activities that's come to happen July 22nd.
And finally, John Terry denies charges of racially abusing QPR's Anton Ferdinand, plus a roundup of other sports stories making the headlines in this report.
Yeah, and the magistrate within the past few minutes has adjourned the court here at Westminster in central London, saying that he'll have his verdict ready tomorrow afternoon, so Friday at about 2 p.m. Local time, 13 hours or so from now. For the rest of the afternoon, the court's been adjourned while he considers his judgment. But all throughout the course of this morning, the defence and the prosecution have been summing up their final arguments. The prosecution making the point, they say, that John Terry is guilty of straightforward racial abuse, with those sexual swear words coupled with the word black that he admitted uttering on a pitch last year during a football match between Chelsea and Queen's Park Rangers of the Premiership side. Of course, the words came within the context of a sort of barrage of abuse that was flowing between John Terry and his opposing player Anton Ferdinand, but the prosecution made the point that the context doesn't matter. It's whether the phrase was meant as abusive, as they say it is, or whether it was meant as repetitive, as John Terry claims that it was. The defence, in their summing up, said that the prosecution case entirely depends on speculation. Only Terry knows what he heard or what he thought he heard, because there's no video evidence of what Anton Ferdinand had to say. It also spoke about the evidence given by another Premiership footballer yesterday, Ashley Cole, saying that he saw, or thought he believed he saw, the word black being uttered by Anton Ferdinand. If Terry's words were not meant as repetition from Ferdinand, then the defence said that should be the end of this case.
Now, John Terry's case is drawing comparisons with another incident involving a Premiership footballer. Now, 2 weeks before the case between Terry and Anton Ferdinand, Liverpool striker Luis Suarez was accused of racially abusing an opponent. Now, Suarez was eventually found guilty and banned for 8 matches. But unlike Terry, Suarez wasn't involved in a criminal case. Now, his was handled by the English Football Association. So 2 Premier League footballers, both accused of racial abuse in the same month. Why were they handled differently? Now, John Terry's case emerged after a member of the public emailed a complaint to police. Now, the case was then investigated and eventually resulted in the trial. Now, that is the key difference between Terry's case and that of Suarez. In that case, the victim of abuse told the referee what had happened. The referee told the English FA, which investigated, charged, and found Suarez guilty. Now, the police weren't involved at all. That is why that case never went to trial.
As being touched by genius, and he's credited with almost single-handedly winning the 1986 World Cup for Argentina. But the only spectacular aspect of Maradona's managerial career is how bad it's been. The latest failure, a sacking by United Arab Emirates club Al Wasl,